All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining my stream. As you can see from the image here, we are basically just waiting for them to start. This is going to be live from the NASDAQ in New York City. We have the Snail Games Investor Day 2025. They are going to be speaking on a lot of things. Coming up at the hour right now is a welcoming and registration for all of the guests who are attending, as well as, I'm sure, a little bit of mingling and just getting to know everybody and networking and all of that really great stuff. So with that, you guys, if you are new to my stream, my name is Erica and I am a gaming content creator and a gamer and all of that. I mean, there's more obviously there, but those are the main two things that I love to focus on. So thank you for joining my stream. And I am streaming right now on X, I'm on YouTube, I am on Twitch, and also on TikTok. So regardless of where you like to watch, you could find me there. Everything is at Erica is Coded. Another thing I wanted to say before we really get into it is that this stream is sponsored by Snail Games. So just a little bit of a disclaimer there, but thanks for joining. If you guys do want to chat and talk about some of the things that are going on, I would say the best platform for that is probably going to be Twitch or YouTube. I have my multi-stream up, so I'm a little bit limited on my TikTok, but I just wanted to definitely get that going as well. That way we have full coverage. We got all the people. There's a lot of gaming on TikTok. If you're not on TikTok and you're into gaming, what are you even doing? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So what we are going to get into today, as I said, right now we're just kind of like waiting for the live feed from the event. They're doing some preliminary registrations, mingling and welcoming all of the guests who are attending live at the NASDAQ. I'm obviously not live at NASDAQ. I'm at my home in Texas, but I am grateful that we have a feed, and I am expecting some really exciting things today, not only about the Web3 aspect of everything, which they are going to be speaking on their stablecoin. Definitely really excited to hear Matt talk about that, but also they'll be speaking on ARK, which is by far their most successful game. So we'll be listening to the presentations on that as well and seeing what they have for the investors, for the gamers, for their community, basically for everybody. So this is a big event. I wish that we had the feed right now, but of course we're just kind of like waiting for them. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and wait for that. While we are waiting for that, let me actually pull up their slide deck. Give me 1 second. But thanks for joining. Come and chat with me. Come and say hi. Let me know if you have played ARK. That is, like I said, definitely one of their most successful games. So we'll be hearing more about that. They have a new DLC coming, which I know that the ARK gamers are definitely going to be like very, very excited to hear about that and the DLC. So I can't wait to hear about that as well. I love survival games. I mean, I started out playing back in my day, started out playing like The Sims. I would definitely consider that a survival game, right? Especially if you have me playing as God, with all the funny things that you can do in that game. But survival games, yeah. Snail Games is definitely one of the heavy hitters as far as survival games go. That's really like what they're known for. So they have a lot coming up. While we're waiting, we'll probably take a look at their YouTube. They do have a few new games coming out in their arsenal. So I'll take a look at that, and let me actually pull up my slide deck from them. So let's get that going. And we'll also just wait for a few more people to join as well. The presentations are actually starting on the hour. So they do have a couple special guest performers right now. I do hear a little bit of background noise. But I don't think it's the performers yet. So they do have a special guest performer of Chase Steel Gray. Hopefully we'll get to see that as well. Okay, let me get my browser window capture open here. Okay, there we go. Oops, I didn't realize that you guys couldn't see me. Okay, so on my TikTok anyway. There we go. So while we wait for them to get started with that feed, let's go ahead and mute that background noise right there. And so this is a presentation of some of the things that they may be going over today. Of course, I don't think that they 100% completely spilled the beans on this, but let's take a look here and go full screen with it. Kind of. Actually, I think you guys can't hear it, but I think I can hear a performer. And I'll let them know in just a moment here that I can't actually see the screen or see the performance. All right, there we go. All right. So these are some of the things that they may be speaking on today. As we can see from the slide here, friendly disclaimer. So Snail Games started in 2009, 15 years as a global game developer and publisher, 170 people strong, market leader of the sandbox survival genre with the ARK franchise. As I said before, they are going to be giving us some more information on the DLC for ARK, which is really exciting to the gamers who play that game. I know that there are a lot of you out there. And then also they will be talking about their stablecoin, which me being in Web3, I am super excited to hear about that and hear more about that. They listed on the NASDAQ in November 2022, which is where this live event is taking place. So we'll see some more of that. History through gaming. It's really actually kind of cool to see the history of their gaming. The MMOs, they've had Wushu, they've had Trash Panda, of course, ARK, Darklight, Atlas. I can't read this one really. I think it's Fear something. Pixel Arc Outlaws, Argotha, Oasis, and Bellwright. I was actually on their YouTube before I even heard about this, but I was watching Bellwright. If you like survival games, like, you have to check that one out. It looks really, really good. So I'm waiting to hear more information on that as well, which I don't know if we'll hear more info on that today, but that is definitely in their arsenal. Their executive team is Hai Shi and Heidi Chow. This actually goes, and this is right on their website too, if you guys want to check this out. It is an investor day, so there is a lot of key financial overviews and numbers and all of that. I know that that's not really gaming. If you are a gamer, you might not be interested in that, but as an investor, you definitely would be. So we have some key highlights, a gaming market. Listen to this though, like, this is crazy. Global players by 2027 is projected to be 3.8 billion. What? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Hey, Julie. What's up? What's up? Thanks for joining the stream. Hope you're doing really great today. Let's see here. Global players in 2023 is 3.3 billion. That's insane. That is insane. Okay. I would have to check the numbers. I know Ubisoft is very, very big, and we have had some really big players coming into Web3 gaming. But this is probably the biggest entity. Now they did release that they were developing a stable coin back in, I believe it was March, April, or May. It was kind of towards like the beginning, approaching on the cusp of the middle of 2025. Happy to see you too, Julie. Hope you're doing really good today. Thanks for joining the stream. About their stable coin, I think that they're probably one of the biggest entities to come into Web3 as far as a gaming publisher and entity goes. I mean, let's just say they had 1 billion. Like, that still is crazy. That's still insane. Their journey so far, Arc, like I said, that is their biggest game. Their journey so far, 966 million Arc gross revenue. So this is not a small player in any way, shape, or form. I am so excited to hear more about their stable coin, and I hope that's a game changer. You know, I really hope that it's a game changer in our space. Our space is, going through a few changes, which is expected, I would say. It is expected that we go through some changes, that we pivot. I would say it's a fairly new industry. Yes, Web3 has been around for a while. I think the first actual crypto game, and I don't want to get this confused. As far as I know, they're not developing a Web3 game. This is about their stable coin. But still, the first Web3 game that I know of is CryptoKitties in 2016. So yes, it has been about 10 years, but I would say that crypto gaming as a whole, as an industry, really started in like 2021, 2022. That's when people were hitting the ground running. A lot of games were being developed on the blockchain. That could be anything from, Solana, Avalanche. So it could be, there's a number, Sui. There's a number of gaming blockchains. So with that, I'm definitely excited to hear more about their stablecoin and to see if it is actually a game changer, just because, the gaming industry as a whole has been a little rough, but for Web3 gaming, we are going through some transitions and changes. So it's nice to see that they are sort of being like a trailblazer in that aspect. So high and consistent player engagement, which is obviously something that all games need and some struggle with. 4.2 billion hours of total playtime on Steam alone. 379 hours average playtime. Highly engaged gamers. 1.1 peak daily active users on Steam. That's huge. Some of these numbers are just like baffling, right? 79K average peak concurrent users on Steam. We can also see some of their quarterly revenues reflect Arc's continued success. So we have the ASA release. And what we'll be hearing on is, I think it's actually in the slide, so maybe I don't actually want to speak on it right now. But we will be hearing on the new DLC for Arc. We have their pillars of growth. And I don't know how much of this they're going to go over. That's why I wanted to show this. And we are also waiting for the live feed from the registration event. And let me actually just chat them right now just to see. we go. I'm really curious to see what it looks like there. I do have a couple of friends attending, so maybe we'll see some stuff from them. Let me just see. There is that. Okay, I don't have any messages from them yet, so we'll have to just wait. Okay, gaming expansion through 2 distinct channels. We have external license, Echoes of LCM, and then also Honeycomb. I am going to go to their YouTube page since we are waiting for the live feed from the event, because I want to show you guys. That way, if you are an ARC gamer, or if you're just not 100% sure like what other games Snail has under their umbrella, they have a lot and they look amazing, especially if you like the survival genre. Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, they did just confirm that everything will be starting at 1 p.m. New York or Eastern Standard Time. So we have about 30 minutes before we are actually going to get into the speakers and the presentations. It's not just going to be me going over slide decks, I promise you. I promise. We're just waiting for the event to start, you guys. It's always good to like warm everybody up a little bit of time, a little bit. So if you are waiting for that, yeah, it's not going to be for a little while, just so you know, it's not going to be for about an hour, but I do appreciate those of you who are hanging out with me, vibing as we wait for the event to get started. There we go. I'm just fixing some windows as I'm multi-streaming. There we go. All right. Excelente. These are some more numbers for investments. I actually want to get into some of the gaming trailers that they have for their upcoming games. Really, really exciting stuff there. Diversing monetization with the ARC 2 sequel. Executive produced by and starring Vin Diesel. Open world survival with a deep narrative focus that transforms ARC into a pulp culture icon. The game DLCs and the UGCs, user-generated content. DLC, of course, is just an expansion of the current base game. Film and TV, merch, and music. Hopefully we hear more about that. And if you are in Web3, stablecoins. Stablecoins are huge, obviously. I mean, if you are in Web3 at all, you obviously know like USDT, USC. But yeah, they are getting into stablecoins. Snail Games getting into stablecoins with billions of gamers. What did we say projected? 3.8 billion by 2027. Absolutely freaking massive, you guys. Absolutely massive. We can kind of see their stablecoin market poised for growth. So we can see the trajectory of stablecoins has been absolutely massive. I mean, it's insane. It's insane. This is where the big institutional players are coming in. And Snail will be the first gaming company with stablecoins. Hopefully more people follow suit, because gaming tokens as a whole has been a little bit of, I would say, a little difficult. A little difficult. So we'll see, you know, how they can be a trailblazer in that aspect. By the way, you guys, I am streaming on X. I am streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and on TikTok. Everything is under @EricaIsCoded. It's the same on all of my platforms. So you can watch wherever you typically watch gaming content or streams from. Of course, I appreciate you watching. Appreciate the follows to stay up to date with games and news and all of that good stuff. I was streaming more regularly earlier this year, but I had to put that on hold. So I want to pick it back up again. I miss streaming. I miss streaming live. I miss my community and the chat and everything like that. So I do appreciate you guys being here, and definitely will be checking out the ARC DLC when it comes out. Absolutely. See if I can survive. See if I can survive. At any rate, Snail will be the first gaming company with stablecoins. Let me make this just a little bit bigger. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. So the retained service of crypto experts. So we have George Kao. He has a PhD degree in computer science from the University of Chicago and is the founder and CEO of Ascendex, a full stack crypto platform. Okay. Continuing to explore strategic partners to accelerate our entry in the stablecoin space. This isn't something, just, knowing a little bit how Snail Games conducts themselves. They are typically, I would say, very cautious. And so I am assuming that this went through massive planning for them. So this is a really, really big deal. They were actually planning on releasing a Web3 game. This was way back in like 2022. I don't know exactly what happened with that, but that was my introduction to Snail and Web3. They were at Consensus that year. They had a small booth. It definitely wasn't anything compared to what we saw at GDC this year. If you were at GDC or if you saw some footage from GDC, Snail Games had an absolutely massive booth. And I was prying them a little bit. I was like, so I know that you were getting into Web3 gaming. What's the story? What's the status on that? And, there was really honestly nothing that they could share with us. So they were very tight-lipped. But then after that, then they released the news about venturing into the stablecoin space. So that was definitely exciting to hear. And I was like, I knew it. No, I knew when I went to the booth that they just couldn't. No, I'm just kidding. I had no idea. I thought they were out. They were out for sure. They were out for good. But no, they didn't. They probably decided to keep it under wraps. So they've leveraged Snail's in-house talent, set up legal entity, Snail Coins LLC, and registered as Money Services Business, MSB, established AML policy and compliance to ensure regulatory compliance. AML, it's like KYC, know your customer, very, very standard. Like when you go to the bank, you have to have an ID, you have to have identification. Stable coins and crypto for the most part. Especially with decentralized and big entities, especially somebody who is registered on NASDAQ. Definitely something that, they have to do is the KYC. They need to know your customer. Building front and back end infrastructure to support stable coin issuance. So I am definitely, I want to know more about how this is going to be incorporated, if it will be incorporated into their current games. So hopefully we'll hear a little bit more about that. If you are just joining the stream, I'm not sure. It's 11:35 right now, so they should be starting the actual presentations in about 25 minutes. But I wanted to warm this chat up a little bit and, get some more information and a little bit of just a little bit more information for you guys. Just a little bit more context of what we'll actually be seeing today. And you guys can see this is on their actual website. If you're curious, I'm kind of going through things a little bit fast. Snail Games and stablecoin heighten engagement. So 90.9 ARC franchise gamers. So we can see a little bit about the Snail rewards ecosystem, games, and stablecoin. So this is Snail Games attract more gamers to the ecosystem with reward program. Again, they are going to be talking about this during their presentations in about 25 minutes. So we'll see all of the details, but this is just a quick overview on their slide deck. Gamers engage with games from Snail Games, rewarded with crypto coins for in-game engagement. Redeem crypto coins for games, DLC, and digital goods. That's interesting. I can't wait to see what games this is going to be incorporated into and how everything is going to play out. If they are putting the stable coin in ARC, that is going to be absolutely massive. I mean, I don't have any exclusive information. I do not work for Snail Games. But this stream is sponsored by Snail Games, so thank you to them for that. Appreciate them, of course. So yeah, and then it looks like they'll also have a Q&A session at the end. So let's take a look, you guys. I want to take a look at some of the game trailers while we're waiting for them to start. And also, once they do start, which is in about 25 minutes, we'll have some opening remarks and a snail overview. Shortly after, they'll be going over their collectible digital token. So we'll hear more about that from Matthew Harper. New Ark Survival Ascended DLC launch Lost Colony. That is going to follow the collectible digital token. And then after that, we'll have some closing remarks. So that is the itinerary once we have the live feed from the event. As I said, we are just getting warmed up. This event that I speak of is live from NASDAQ in New York City. So right now, they are getting everybody welcomed in, going through registration, and then they also have a special guest performer who is Chase Steele. Great. So can't wait to hear from my contacts who I was able to invite a few people. So I can't wait to hear more about what the live event is like or was like. Can't wait to hear more about that from them. All right. So I want to play a couple trailers here. Let me see. Okay, so I want to play the bell right to the sound of rebellion. Actually, let me see. Bellwright Maiden Voyage update is out now. Let's actually take a look at this one, and we'll look at some of the other trailers and some of the other content from their other games on here. As obviously, Ark is their biggest game, but they have many other really fantastic games under their umbrella as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this. You can kind of hear the background. You can kind of hear the background at the event as well. But I think that this trailer will probably overpower that a little bit from my desktop background. All right, let's take a look. Maybe. Hold on. One sec, you guys. Let me adjust my windows really quick. Sorry about that. It's always interesting when you're live streaming and you're working with multiple different sources. I don't know why it's so big like that, though. Oops, still not quite right. Okay, actually, you know what I'm going to do is get a different source specifically for that, you guys. One sec here, and thanks for your patience. There we go. There we go, you guys. Okay, let's watch this trailer. Again, this is Bellerite, one of the games under their umbrella. And we don't have sound. We can hear the performer in the background, though. I don't know if you guys can hear him or not. You should be able to hear him a little bit anyway. All right, guys, sorry about that. I'm just working on getting this up and running. Okay. I'm not sure why this doesn't have sound. It could be because my feed is coming from the other window, but at any rate, we'll see the visual of Bellerite. My lo-fi music screen. Oh, there we go. I think I figured out what the problem was. Let's watch this. It's more in depth about the actual game from the dev.
Usually when I start a new area, I don't look for just one specific sound. I try to find the sound palettes. So really a mix of instruments or textures that can later define that region. And once that palette feels right, the melodies often come together organically. The sound of Halmar Isles was meant to remind you of the sound of Mediterranean islands, and to stay true to that, we researched the music of that region and worked with real musicians who knew about traditional Greek music. So the first thing I saw was actually early gameplay footage, and that actually helped a lot. I could feel the pace and mood of the place right away. So I saw all the open fields and settlements, cities, and the beautiful coastlines. So I knew right away that it needed to feel organic, but also spacious and feel like it's part of the environment. For Halmer Idols, I tried to keep a healthy balance between instruments that were historically present around the medieval Greek islands, so the instruments like the oud or the Cretan lyra, and a bit of freedom to expand that palette. Because I was encouraged to experiment, I also brought in instruments like the Cretan lauto as well, which are much younger instruments. So even though Bellwright isn't strictly historical, I like the idea that everything you hear could have existed in some version of that world. My favorite part is by far when the music and environment and the gameplay all start working together. And that's the moment you know it's real. It's a great feeling. I just hope the music helps create an immersive experience for the player and that it's something they genuinely enjoy.
All right, so that was from one of the games under the Snail umbrella called Bellwright. Hello, Agaron. Hope you're doing good today. Thanks for joining the stream. Just a little update for everybody. We actually have a live feed from the event, which is the Snail Investor Day 2025 at the NASDAQ. So we will have a live feed from that event. So that way we can watch all the presentations on ARK Evolved. We'll hear from some of the people from Snail Games. And then their stablecoin, we'll hear about the ARK Evolved DLC, more on that. So we'll be getting into those presentations. They'll be starting in about 10 minutes or so. So thanks you guys for joining. This stream, full disclosure, is sponsored by Snail Games. So thank you to them for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it. And I'm excited. I'm really excited to see their speakers and just to hear a little bit more about specifically their stablecoin and what that will entail, but also about the ARK DLC, the new one. Yes. Hello, Agron. Hope you're doing good. Okay, let's watch another trailer from Snail Games. I want to see, oh, that's a little bit old. I mean, not super old, but let's watch Honeycomb. This was revealed at Gamescom 2025 3 months ago. Gotta love the YouTube ads.
Used to sound different. Whispering wind and rustling grass. I've only ever heard them on recordings. The planet has been slowly wasting away for generations. In the end, we became prisoners of our arcs. My brother was obsessed with the old world. A world where we lived in nature. I promised I'd do my best to bring it back. I was working hard to get into the labs. That's when the news about Operation Honeycomb broke out. Could we find salvation in the stars? Would I ever see the Earth covered in green?
Vital signs stable. Eon Corp welcomes you to Operation Honeycomb.
Ooh, Operation Honeycomb. I don't think that game is released yet, but yeah, I don't think it's been released yet. Official release date reveal. Oh wait, it says right on there. Oh my gosh. I think it said November 2025. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. There's a lot of games that they have under their umbrella to keep track of, so I'm sorry, I don't know every single one of them.
Robots at midnight.
There's another one that I wanted to watch. Let me see. Ooh, let's watch 10 Years of Arc. That actually sounds really good. As you can see, I'm just on their YouTube page right now, but we will have the event starting very soon for you guys. So definitely looking forward to that. Should be starting at about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 12 o'clock Central where I'm at. So that'll be starting soon. We're just taking a look at some of the games that they have under Snail Games. Let's take a look at the Arc 10 years. 10 years of Arc. Wow, that's amazing. I love it. I know that people are super excited for this new DLC. So we'll be hearing more about that at the event, as well as about their Snail Games. I want to watch some more of these though, because they actually give a really good glimpse into some of their games. Let's take a look at actually that in their portfolio. So they have Arc. Check this out. Okay. Robots at Midnight, For the Stars. They are basically, they're like the survival game kings, I would say. They do survival games. They do them very, very well, as you can see from Arc. I think projected 2027 will be 3.8 billion players. Nothing small. Nothing small at all. Bellwright, action adventure survival game. I need to play that one. I've been so busy lately, but I need to play that one. That one looks really good. Arc Survival Ascended, Survival Evolved, Last Oasis, Pix Arc. Oh, I like that. Kind of like Roblox in a way. Atlas, they have Arc 2, Expedition, Argatha, Outlaws of the Old West. So you can see just their massive absolutely massive portfolio of games. I don't know if the stablecoin will be incorporated into all of them, or if it will just be ARC, or if it will be ARC. Hopefully we'll hear more from Matt in just a little bit on that, but I'm really excited to see and hear what Matt has to say about this massive company getting into Web3 with their stablecoin. So we'll stay tuned for that, you guys. Really exciting stuff. By the way, I do appreciate the likes, the follows. Come chat with me on X, YouTube, or Twitch. My TikTok stream actually ended. I think it's because they are very, very picky about what you talk about. And I did mention other platforms, and I don't think that they like that. So yeah, sorry if you were watching on, well, I guess if you were watching on TikTok, you're not watching anymore. So hopefully people bounced to other platforms. But everything is under @EricaIsCoded. So I appreciate you guys chatting with me, letting me know what you think, especially as the event is about to start in just a few minutes here. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about everything. Doesn't matter if you're excited about ARC, if you're excited to hear more about their stablecoin, or just what they have going on in general. Come chat with me and let me know what you guys think. More into their absolutely massive portfolio of games. Tachachi. How do you say that? Tai Chi Panda. Insanity. Dragon Revolt. And actually, I don't know if I can hear or if I can see my live chat. There we go. Now I can see my live chat on X if you guys are going to chat there too. Let's watch one more trailer. I think we have time for one more before they start. Let's go back up to some of the newer ones. Let's watch this one. Echoes of Elysium Steam Next Fest recap. Definitely am excited about that one.
Hi everyone, I'm Ray, co-founder and producer at Lore Games. I'm here to talk about Steam Next Fest, what we learned by launching our demo during the event, both the good and the bad, and how the feedback that you sent us is helping to ensure that we're heading in the right direction and that we deliver something that is fun and exciting for you. Steam Next Fest for us was an opportunity to show players for the first time what we were making. Up until that time, we had been doing closed-door tests and getting feedback on a few core systems, but this was the first time players were going to be able to really get a slice of life of what they were going to experience in the early access version of Echoes of Elysium. It was one of those things where I was really encouraged by the players that were coming to us in our Discord server or even through the community hub on Steam and sharing with us very transparent feedback. Whether it was good or it was bad, it was all valuable. It's really easy for a small team like ours to be so in the weeds of the game, being so close to the game. I mean, we're very passionate about what we're making that we can look past, broken windows. And the reception that we received was very much mixed. And there was some great feedback when it came to things that just weren't working. What I appreciated most were the players who came to us and say, hey, I'm not having fun with this, but I have some ideas. Or the airship building experience doesn't quite make sense to me from both a UX UI perspective or even just kind of the tactile feel as I'm running around and collecting items. We were still very much encouraged by some of that feedback because it was letting us know that these people like what they see. They are excited about what we are going to be offering. And the fact that they were willing to share with us, I think, ensures that they want to see us succeed. But ultimately, it really was just one of those things where it's like, okay, things aren't working here. What happened? And that's one of the things that we're actually making sure that we don't run into again, especially when we launch the game into early access. Some of the feedback that we received that was fairly consistent was just traversal. That includes the glider, that includes moving around with the airship. And, folks, when they see our trailers and they read our descriptions that we are an airship survival game, that already sets a clear expectation. Everything is going to be on our airship. And when we are creating barriers in the sense of this is not fun to move around or level of effort and kind of like the steep climb to go say, okay, now I can actually move my airship because I fueled it was too much. And we started to scale that back for sure. And at the same time, we started to make a lot of improvements on not just making it more intuitive, but at the same time, just making it more fun. And we've really kind of taken that the card and made some of those adjustments. And then we always evaluate new ideas and say, you know what, there's something very valuable about this. Like, why hadn't we considered this? Like, we should definitely get this in. The first thing that we're changing based on the demo's response to the look and feel of movement with the glider, which is the first thing that players are going to be leveraging to actually start to progress within the game, was just not fun. It was too floaty. Players didn't understand what the purpose of it was, and all of that stuff falls on us. We weren't clear on it. We didn't improve it in a way that made it rewarding for sure. We want players to feel as if they have a sense of freedom using the glider, that they can feel confident using the glider, so when they leave their airship, they can come back. And at the same time, that they see the glider as another tool, not just for gathering resources, but at the same time exploring islands. These islands, they can be tall, they can have some hidden areas across, several different landmarks. And the glider is really that first tool. If we don't capture the excitement within the first 5 or 10 minutes, we failed. So that was an area that we should improve on. And the combat experience, well, it scratches the surface of what combat is. Yes, you can, attack and destroy an enemy construct, but at the same time, it just did not feel satisfying. And we are actively solving for that in several different ways. The first is we are doing animation improvements. We are going to be incorporating visual effects and sound effects that really reinforces some of those systems. And a lot of that work is going to be carrying over into other systems as well. We have to balance out critical fixes and some of the bugs and these quality of life. So what we've done is we evaluated all of what we currently have in the game, evaluated what's left to develop for early access, and making sure that we are balancing out our bandwidth to ensure that we deliver something that's solid. We want to build this game with our community. We've got some ideas of our own that we're really excited about. We love what we're making, but at the same time, we're a small team of 18 folks, and the community is really going to help ensure that we are heading in the right direction. They're going to be our biggest advocates. Our vision for the game has always been, we want players to share with us what they're building, how they're playing the game, how they and their friends are tackling certain challenges when it comes to defeating a boss, or whether it is gathering materials to build an armada of airships. The chaotic nature of a fractured landscape, the lore of what we are delivering, it's something that we want folks to really be excited to be a part of. And being able to share that with their friends, to share that with us and be able to stand on that, that's one of the things that really driving our passion for this game. We're really excited about what we're building. So if you'd like to follow our progress, consider wishlisting and joining our Discord server. Thanks for listening. The team and I can't wait for you to play.
That's echoes of Elysium. The game developer was actually talking about their experience with Steam Next Fest. And it sounds like...
You guys enjoy the music?
I think we might be getting started.
Okay, so before we start, can I please have everyone silent your phone and also no recording of the event, please?
I have a live feed, so it's okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Heidi. Last name Chow. I'm the CFO of the company, and welcome everyone to Snail Inc. Investor Day. So thank you for being here today for all our investors, partners, members of the press, and special guests. We truly appreciate you taking the time to join us. Before we begin, I would like to ask everyone to please take a moment to review the Snail Inc. disclosure statement, which outlines the important information regarding today's presentation. Today is about the future of Snail. We'll be sharing important updates on where we are headed and how we continue to build long-term value across gaming, technology, and digital innovation. We will explore an overview of our initiative within stablecoins and digital collectibles. For our stablecoin initiative, we will be talking about the future we envision for digital payments. For our digital collectible announcement, we want to showcase the absolute absurdity that makes this industry great in a way that celebrates the gamer. And last but not least, we will shift our focus to ARC, We will be revealing details about the upcoming Ark Survival Ascended DLC Lost Colony and outlining the next step for the Ark franchise as we continue to expand one of our most iconic global IPs. We are excited to share these updates with you today. To kick things off, and please join me welcoming our first presenter, Senior Vice President of Snail Inc., Peter Kang. Peter?
Thank you, Heidi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Peter Kang, and I am the Senior Vice President of Business Development and Operations at Snail Games. Today, I want to talk about where we are going.
You guys, I should have a live feed of the speakers, so I'm just waiting. I messaged them, so just hang tight.
Focus, and that focus is clear. Snail Games seeks to establish the world's first entertainment-focused stablecoin, and we're minting the very first stablecoin today. The industry deserves new opportunities. Our company has provided entertainment to millions over the past decade. We know the audience, we know the environment, and we know how to build in this space. Our commitment started with the passing of Genius Act, legislation that executive leadership has long eyed. Regulatory acceptance of stablecoins has pushed our plans into the mainstream and has brought us to the firm resolve that the world needs new solutions in digital payments. The industry deserves new scalable options that matter. If you're new to stablecoins, think of them as digital dollars. Each one is tied to the value of the US dollar, but with a modern twist. They move instantly, cost very little to send, and work anytime, anywhere. It is the simplicity of cash combined with the speed of the internet that puts global digital money right at your fingertips. We seek to change the status quo and revolutionize the digital payments and entertainment industries. Over the past years, we have seen a meaningful shift in how money moves, how creators get paid, and how digital businesses operate across borders. What used to be slow, fragmented, and expensive is increasingly expected to be instant, global, and accessible. Stablecoins have moved from the fringes of tech to the center of that conversation. Governments are paying attention. Regulators are engaged. Institutions are participating at rates we have never seen before. And the US dollar is increasingly finding new digital rails. We believe that this shift is structural, not speculative. At Snail, we have always seen ourselves as builders of virtual worlds, places where players, creators, communities interact at scale. As these ecosystems have grown, one challenge has remained surprisingly persistent: how value moves back to the people who create it. Creator payouts are often slow. They are fragmented across regions, and they are burdened by fees and intermediaries. And for global creatives, access alone is a strong barrier. We believe that there is an opportunity to improve this experience responsibly, transparently, and within a compliant framework. Let's watch a video that visually explains Snail's stablecoin initiative.
Payments should be simple, fast, transparent, borderless, uniting our brands under one ecosystem. Snail made a clear strategic decision. We are introducing Snail's own stablecoin as a core payment layer across our network. Stablecoins bring stability without the volatility. Access without the barriers. No blocked payments. No regional limitations. Pay anyone, anywhere. Agnostically. Globally. This is more than convenience. It's infrastructure. A foundation for scale. The future of payouts today. Open, global, connected. Welcome to the new era of Snail.
Today, we are introducing our intention to build a US dollar denominated stablecoin, which we call USDO, United States Dollar Online. USDO reflects a simple idea. Digital dollars should be clear, understandable, and grounded in existing financial reality. No abstractions, no ambiguity, just dollars online. We have applied for the relevant trademark associated with USDO, and we are laying the legal and technical foundations required to support it properly. From a technology standpoint, the USDO smart contract has already undergone extensive third-party security auditing. A public report will be released as we progress through the next stages. Security is not a differentiator, it is the baseline, and we have treated it that way from the beginning. From a regulatory standpoint, our approach is deliberate. We are pursuing the necessary state licensing and regulatory approvals required to operate a compliant stablecoin. We believe the future for this space belongs to projects that work within clear regulatory frameworks, not around them. Recent developments in US legislation have reinforced our view that compliant stablecoins play a constructive role in strengthening the digital reach of the dollar globally. We plan to evolve our influencer marketing platform into a digital storefront. Within that ecosystem, USDO is intended to function as a payment option while supporting creator payouts, digital purchases, and models that allow audiences to directly support creators when engaging with content. These are deliberate, phased plans focused on utility and not speculation. For partners who are interested in engaging early, whether as integrators, collaborators, or strategic participants, we have opened a pre-launch inquiry process at USDO.io. This allows us to understand intent as we continue building responsibly. To mark this moment, we will symbolically mint the first USDO token today, and the circulating supply will be updated to 1 on USDO.io. This minting represents commitment, not completion. It should be seen as a public signal that we are building towards something durable with intention, discipline, and long-term perspective. We believe stablecoins are becoming a core piece of modern digital infrastructure. We believe there is room for more compliant, thoughtfully designed options within the market. And we here at Snail believe USDO can play a role in that future. As with this announcement, we want to convey that we are early, careful, and committed. The future is digital payments, and today we are watching history in the making. The very first stablecoin focused on entertainment mints today. Thank you. With our next announcement being ready to go live, I want to introduce you to our product owner, Matthew Harper, who has been a long-term player of the virtual worlds we have created and has helped the communities of some of our first games flourish as a fellow player. His journey from community to company has led him to become a pivotal member of the team in overseeing these Web3 initiatives into action, from stablecoins to digital commemorative tokens. Please welcome him to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please direct your attention for an upcoming video announcement.
Today, we're introducing something made purely for the culture, a digital collectible built for the players who know exactly how strange, chaotic, and unforgettable gaming can be. This is Golden Poop. For years, Golden Poop has been a quiet icon in gaming communities, a joke achievement, a troll moment, a reminder that sometimes the grind leads to something unexpected, random, and at times absurd. Golden Poop continues that tradition, a digital commemorative collectible available for a one-time opt-in period. Just a polished symbol of the chaos we've all survived together. Participation is optional. There is no utility within our virtual worlds. When you opt in, you'll be placed into a commemorative category based on historical account information across our titles. No earning, no grinding, no second chances. Just a single moment captured for a digital collectible for a very limited time. Nothing a user does after linking affects category eligibility. Each category corresponds to a fixed, non-proportional mint quantity. Symbolic. Nothing more. After the opt-in period, you'll have a short window to claim your piece of the joke. Golden Poop is our tribute to every player who stuck around through patches, triumphs, crashes, victories, wipes, updates, rollbacks, and all the moments that made you wonder why you kept going. This is Golden Poop, a collectible for anyone who knows that in gaming, sometimes the treasure is nonsense, the story is absurd, and the drops are meme-worthy. Golden Poop serves no operational role to Snail. This is for you, the community. In gaming, not all that glitters is gold. Sometimes it's just poop.
I love it.
I've been with Snail in the product department for the past 3 years. Long before that, and for many more years ahead, I am a gamer, and will always be a gamer. A lifelong gamer who grew up inside these worlds the same way that many of you did. Gaming has always been more about technology or business. It's about relationships, late nights, the shared moments that only happen inside virtual worlds. And some of the closest friendships in my life come from games. I met people across countries, across cultures, across time zones, and those connections became very real. Many of us watching have had these similar stories. I fell in love with Snail Games Virtual Worlds over a decade ago with their English release of a game called Age of Wushu. I still have my physical copy of the game today, proudly displayed on my shelf. I dedicated thousands of hours as a fellow community member to helping the community thrive, solving bugs, providing installation guides, bot reporting, and spending late nights assisting players in accessing the game that I loved. The more players I helped, the more players had stayed to join in the fun, which turned into an ever-increasing cycle of new memories and new adventures. The community built around this virtual world became my own version of an online family. And with this family, we journeyed into the unknown, the drama, the politics, but most importantly, we face the future of gaming with open arms together. And from community to company, I'm proud to be surrounded by staff members who've had similar adventures into virtual worlds we've created over the past decade. Everyone here has had their share of the abstract concept of absurdity within the gaming industry. And now, we are proud to share a little bit of that absurdity with you today. Over the last year, our industry has moved fast. New platforms, new business models, and new expectations. And with that speed comes opportunity, but also a lot of noise. And at Snail, we spent time thinking carefully about how we show up in that environment. Not just what we build, but how we communicate with those communities around our games. We've had many discussions about new technologies, including Web3. There are plenty of directions available and plenty of complex systems that could be built. And at one point in the meeting, the focus shifted to making the complex simple. Make something absurd, friendly, and for the gamers. And that idea became Golden Poop. So, let's talk about poop. Golden Poop has existed for years as a quiet gaming joke, not as an official brand or a product line, but as a recognizable kind of moment that players instantly understand. You play long enough, and eventually you run into something, well, absurd. Something meaningful, something confusing, and something just, well, plain weird. And those moments are part of what makes gaming feel real. Golden Poop takes that shared joke and turns it into something commemorative. Golden Poop is a digital collectible created purely for cultural and entertainment purposes. It has no gameplay effect, no financial purpose, and no operational role in any Snail product. It doesn't change how anyone plays our games, but it exists as a light, self-aware expression of gaming culture. Participation is entirely optional. There's no pressure, no call to action, no incentive to rush. It doesn't impact gameplay in any way across our titles. Now, let me show you how it works. We built a website on goldenpoop.io, and when a user logs in for the first time during the opt-in period, the system takes a one-time snapshot of historical account information at that exact moment. That snapshot, it's final. It doesn't update. It's not recalculated later, and gameplay does not impact category after that point. Nothing you do after that first login and connection of your Steam account will change your category. There's no earning, there's no grinding, and no optimization, and no second chances during this event. That snapshot places the participant into a commemorative category based on historical account information. Each category corresponds to a fixed, tiered, non-proportional mint quantity. That means there's no continuous or performance-based calculation, there's no scaling system, there's no multiplier. It's a classification and not a performance-based system. And after the opt-in period, there's a short claim window. And when that concludes, this event will conclude. Golden Poop is meant to be light, self-aware, and intentionally focused. It reflects a simple idea that gaming culture has always balanced humor with absurdity. And both of these concepts, they belong together. When it becomes time to redeem part of the joke, you'll need your own Ethereum virtual wallet. And if you decide to redeem, there'll be a small Ethereum network fee associated with the redemption process after the opt-in period concludes. Over the next few months, we're also going to be sharing occasional memes and lighthearted content built around that same spirit, not as commentary of any specific company or as attacks, not as callouts, but familiar nods of the tropes and rhythms of the industry we all work in. Sometimes the healthiest thing that a fast-moving industry like gaming can do is take a laugh at itself for just a brief moment. There's no big future promise tied to this, no economic layer being introduced, and there's no requirement for participation aside from participating in the entirely optional opt-in period. It's light in tone and intentionally limited in scope. And we are proud to do something fun and engaging for the players. An effort to subvert expectations and present a digital collectible that is uniquely absurd. Golden Poop is that nod to the absurdity that we all face in gaming. Golden Poop's for the people that understand that gaming's not all about wins or losses. It's also about the strange detours, the unexpected moments, and the stories that come from them. Because in gaming, not all that glitters is gold. Sometimes it's just poop. Thank you.
That's exciting
With the
there.
conclusion of that announcement, I would like to announce our next speaker for a very special announcement. A man who does not need any introduction, please welcome the co-founder of Studio Wildcard, Jeremy Stieglitz to the stage.
They're releasing a digital collectible. It doesn't have any utility.
Hello, I'm Jeremy. So I'm going to give you kind of an update on ARK and the current mainline ARK game, ARK Survival Ascended. Was the co-founder of City Wildcard and co-creator of ARK, and these days run the studio and development. So we've hit some very interesting milestones lately with ARK Survival Ascended. And in case you're unfamiliar, ARK Survival Ascended is the most recent iteration of this franchise. It launched about 10 years ago, a little over, with ARK Survival Evolved. And then 2 years ago, we essentially remastered the game as ARK Survival Ascended on the latest version of game technology. And since then, we sold over 4 million copies of that new version of the game. And that's just the base game at full price on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. So in addition to that, tons of downloadable content. Millions and millions. Couldn't tell you how many. A lot. So on top of the 4 million base game. And that content runs the gamut from new maps to new creatures to new gameplay additions. They're called Bob's Tall Tales. We've also done something really cool with ARK Survival Ascended that actually is almost unique among the entire industry. Very few games do this, which is supporting user-generated content throughout all the different platforms. So you can get the game on PC, use the tool set, make anything with the tool set of the game, and upload that and play that content on Xbox or PlayStation. And other people can discover that content as well inside the game. That can be new maps that you've created, new creatures, new game modes, new character costumes, all dynamically delivered to the individual clients on every platform. And players have really taken to that. They've created over 5,000 mods since that feature was introduced. And there's been over 750 million of those mods downloaded. Obviously, there's a much smaller number of people who make the mods and a large number of people who play them. But really, it's become a core feature of the game that is almost completely not replicated among other titles in the genre of online games. And interestingly, it's also opened up some unique collaborations that have been done through the mod pipeline, including a integration of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Hasbro into the game, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Paramount and Nickelodeon into ARK as well. And that allows you to run around as the Power Rangers characters or the Ninja Turtles characters. We've also released a bunch of new individually sold creatures, which have gone really well. So, and it's not on this list, but I was recently informed we've crossed over 10 million downloads of the mobile version of ARK, the new mobile version that launched about a year ago. So very good number on that too. So it's very strong and going to be even stronger with what's coming right around the corner. That is the new full-size expansion pack called ARK Lost Colony. So since ARK Survival Ascended's launch a little over 2 years ago, we've only kind of added little features here and there, including polishing the game. We haven't added a giant new expansion pack that really advances the narrative of the game, the scope of the game, and brings a whole bunch of new features that kind of changes the nature of the title. This is that first giant expansion pack. And it's huge in scope. It adds tons of new features that kind of really shift what the game is about. A lot of story, but critically, you can actually recruit human characters to your tribe that are controlled by the computer, which is a whole new feature and way to play the game, as well as the computer actually has enemy bases that you can raid, not just other player bases. So it gives people a lot of things to do. It's a very threatening world. There's a vampire theme going on to it, and just a lot of dynamics into this new expansion that we have not fully explored before. So it's a big step forward for the game and our first real enhancement kind of the scope of what ARK Survival Ascended is. And kind of related to that, inside of Lost Colony, which launches this Thursday on December 18th, we have done a cool partnership with Carl Urban, well-known actor, and he's been voice acting for ARK for quite some years as this character Bob, but we finally needed to integrate Bob into the core story, and we said, what would Bob look like? Well, Bob should probably look like the actor that's voicing him. That would make sense. And so Carl was gracious enough to work with us and actually transpose him into the game as this character. really buff, of course. And we're very happy with how it's turned out, and there's going to be a lot of fun with this character going forward with the likeness of Carl. Let's see a early trailer. Well, not an early trailer, but what I mean is a short trailer for Lost Colony. This is not the full trailer that we'll release on Thursday, but what this is a minute-long kind of teaser trailer that's going to run nationwide for, I think, about a week in front of Avatar: Fire and Ash in theaters. So this is a theatrical kind of commercial trailer, and please excuse the frame rate is 24, which bothers me as a gamer. You need 60 at least, but they require 24 for theater, so that's why it looks like a low frame rate. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can play this.
Mei Yin traveled there looking for a way back to me. But what she found instead.
What? What was it? Tell me!
There she found the stuff of nightmares.
Hear me! You found something real on the up, despite the loss and pain.
Trespassers! You should not have come here.
The time for battle has arrived!
Pretty cool, very cinematic. It has an excellent cast as well, doing the character performances throughout the expansion pack. It includes Michelle Yeoh, obviously superstar Madeline Madden, playing the main character Helena Walker, David Tennant, Lee Carvalho, Keith David, Katie Sackhoff, and Carl Urban. So really, really wonderful cast playing these different characters. Super cool expansion. We're so excited to get in the hands of players on Thursday. We think they're going to like it a lot. We have a lot coming up for Ark Survival Ascended as well, which I briefly wanted to touch on. We essentially, this is such an important product for us that we intend to continue expanding it and developing it and kind of making it bigger and more interesting over time, both in terms of the scope of the game and also what it can be. And I briefly want to touch over the kind of 2-year roadmap of what to look forward to in this game. At the beginning of next year, we have another Snail team, Studio Sirens, working on a new iteration of Survival of the Fittest. Survival of the Fittest is a PvP mode that exists, more of an esports style spin-off mode. We've never really had time to devote our internal resources to. Studio Sirens is going to take it and essentially make it into a fully fledged feature. It's well supported and treated as essentially an ongoing esports service for the game. And it's going to be very exciting to see what they do with it. The second quarter, we're going to be releasing a new expansion called Bob's True Tales Tides of Fortune. It is a pirate theme. It comes alongside a map release called Ark Genesis. In quarter 3, we're going to be releasing a feature called the World Crater. This is an entirely new feature for Ark Survival Ascended that is similar to modding, but what it allows people to do is make new content inside the game. So they won't have to use an external set of tools on PC. Point is, any platform they're playing Ark Survival Ascended on, they can go in and start making new stuff, new worlds.
I was going to try to get to the slide deck they're looking at, but no.
We're really excited about this, what this will do to unlock player creativity. We think we're only touching about 5% maybe of people who have an idea based on the limitations of the current tool set. This will get us closer to 90% of people who want to make something in Ark will be able to do it very easily and share it within the game. Quarter 4. New expansion called Dragontopia. I wonder what that's about. Quarter 1, 2027, Ark Atlantis. Going to be very fun. There's been a desire for something like that for quite some time. In quarter 2 of next year, 2027, the year after next year, the next Bob's True Tales alongside Genesis Part 2. This one is called Galaxy Wars. It is all about spaceships, spaceship battling, large capital ships and starfighters and so forth. And then finally, quarter 4 of 2027, the lead into Ark 2. It's a prequel to Ark 2 inside of Ark Survival Ascended called Ark Legacy of Santiago that basically directly ties into that narrative and tests out a lot of those mechanics and features. So It's a lot of exciting stuff for the game that people are playing and enjoying, and they have a lot to look forward to if they're investing their time into this. It's going to continue to grow. We expect to hit another 4 million over those years. So that's it for me.
Exciting stuff for the ARK franchise, for sure.
Thank you, everyone. Now, please join me in welcoming Snail's CEO, Shi Hai, along with board members Jim Tsai, Ying Zhou, board member Neil Foster, Jeremy, CFO Heidi Chow, to the stage. Together, they will mint the first USDO coin, officially launch the collective digital token, the Golden Poop, and kick off the countdown to ARK Survival Ascended Lost Colony DLC. Please welcome them to the stage.
They're going to mint it live? That's awesome. They just minted the first USDO, which is their stable coin. United States dollar online with the Golden Poop.
Everyone, I think we're going to have some champagne around. Is that correct, CC? Yeah, thank you for your time today. We really appreciate you walking through the cold and snow to join us and celebrate. Thank you.
All right, so it looks like everybody's going to go get a little glass of bubbly to celebrate the occasion. That is a really, really big deal, you guys. So they announced earlier this year that they were venturing into the stablecoin market, I guess you could say. And they just minted their very first USDO stablecoin live from the NASDAQ. For investors, gamers, people from the Web3 community were also invited as well. So that is very, very exciting. They did say that the Golden Poop, which is in the middle of the screen right there, they did say that that will be minted on Ethereum. So I do know that much. They'll take a screenshot. It sounds like a screenshot of your gaming history. I'm assuming via Steam, but they didn't say specifically. It's completely optional. Of course, it sounds like there will be sort of like a whitelist is what we call it in Web3, which is access to mint. And then, hold on, let me get that off the screen. And we'll get this on the screen over here. Sorry about that, guys. I had a live feed from the Zoom event, so that just quickly ended. Anyway, what I was saying is that they're mint, so they are, in addition to their stablecoin, the USDO, they are also releasing a digital mint. Okay. Just a commemorative, no in-game utility, no monetary value. I don't know if it's going to be soul-bound. If you're not familiar with what soul-bound is, it basically means that you can't transfer it to another person. Once you've got it in your digital Ethereum wallet, you can't transfer it. So I don't know if it'll be soul-bound. It sounds like it will be if it's based upon the snapshot of gaming history, but we'll have to, wait and hear more. I'll see if I can get the lowdown from Matt. So this is just some of the news that they have recently. We'll just pull that up here. All right. So in addition to that, they did say with their part of the reason why they're introducing stable coins is creator payments. So I heard him say creator payments a few times. So I'll have to go back and get the transcript and kind of break that down a little bit. I was just taking brief notes, but I was attentive to the presentation. Also, they did mention an influencer marketing platform supporting digital. I believe digital. Actually, I don't want to speak on that because I didn't take good enough notes. But also supporting creators as well. So I don't know if that means like UGC creators or if that necessarily means people who are making mods, or if it is actually digital items. So we'll have to wait and hear a little bit more on that and exactly what that entails. But nonetheless, very exciting. A lot of big announcements from them, not only in the stablecoin realm and the digital collectible realm, but also what they have planned for ARC, which is definitely their biggest game under their umbrella. So that is launching on December 18th. So just a couple days from today, which is super exciting, especially for the ARC players out there. That IP has been going on for 10 years. 10 years. Billions of gamers. Brought in a lot of revenue for Snail Games, so that's definitely exciting. I think that is the stream for today, you guys. I really wanted to thank you so much for joining. If you've been here the whole time, if you popped in and out, or if you just caught the end of it, you can play it back on X. It'll be on my YouTube forever, so you can go back and watch that. You can take a look at the transcript as well if you want to get the details. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys for joining me. Again, this was sponsored by Snail Games, so thank you to them for sponsoring and for letting me share a piece of their history with my community and getting it out for whoever else may stumble upon it. I don't think it's hit Reddit quite yet, but I'm sure it'll hit the Reddit community. So shout out to you guys out there. Reddit and gaming is huge, and I know that Snail Games and ARC has a huge community on Reddit. So shout out to you guys as well. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the follows and the likes and the comments. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. And I will see you all a little bit later. Have a great day and happy holidays. Merry Christmas, you guys. Yeah, I hope that you all stay safe, stay happy, and have a merry one with your friends and your family out there. So as we approach the new year coming so quickly, but all right, I digress.